Hello guys, today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing a formicarium that's been sent to us by AntKit. We'll be having a detailed look at the formicarium itself and breaking down the review into 4 sections: design, customization, accessibility, and finally habitation. These will each be given an individual score out of 10, and then the 4 scores are finally averaged out at the end of the video to give an overall review rating. So let's take a look at this setup and see how it matches up to this in-depth review. So we're going to start by unboxing this setup. My last unboxing and review video was quite long, so I'll try my best to keep the chatter to a minimum. Right, let's start by opening up this box. Oh, don't you just hate it when sellotape does that? Right, okay. Because this box is quite big, I'm on the verge of kind of disappearing. I am gonna get my GoPro here and I'm gonna show you guys the unboxing from above. Let's just take this all out, put it on the floor, deal with it later. Ooh. Okay. So this actually says ANKIT accessories for user guides, care sheets and more. Visit ankit.uk/start. I think they were sending me a foraging area to go with the nest itself. So that might be that. And this is the nest itself, I think. So we'll pop that down there as well. I think that might be it. Just double check. Yep. Cool. Right, we're going to go back to our normal seating position. And yeah, look at this cool stuff. Right. Well, we've not actually finished the unboxing yet, but we have taken the stuff out of the box. I'm going to start with this, which is the accessories. Yeah, let's open this up. I like that it's in a paper bag. That's pretty cool. So what have we got? Let's break this down. Holy moly! That's a big pipette. That's the biggest pipette I've ever seen. Look at my one. 5mm, eh? I'm only rocking the 3mm pipettes. I need to up my game, I think. This is ridiculous. Compare pipette sizes later. So here we have some slippery formula, and they've even put a little person on there, which is falling over, which is great. Be cool if they actually put an ant slipping over instead of a person. We've got some vinyl tubing, we've got an Allen key, we've got these things here. This may be to do with like a gating system, so when you place it into the nest you can either close off an entrance or open it up. This is red perspex, so I assume this is like a cover to go over the nest itself. I'm actually really excited to open this stuff up. This is the first time I've ever used AntKit kind of setups and materials, so I am really excited. From what I can see, I think this is going to be the foraging area for the nest. Oh wow. Okay, right. Let me just get this out, and then I can. Let's get all this packaging out of the way. This is some cool stuff. This is some epic stuff right here. So yeah, this is an AntKit 2000 foraging area. It's really, really nice. I really like this. Alright, I know this review is about the nest itself, but I really have to show this off, which I've just kind of found. if I just put the foraging area, sorry, upside down, get the Allen key, and here you can kind of see the entrance hole where the ants will come in and out, and then obviously they'll come up onto the main part of the foraging area. But here, there's a little slot here where you can place an Allen key, and just inside there, you can actually turn a disc, which either opens up this entrance hole or basically locks it. So the lid is kind of broken down into a few different pieces. So you've just got the main frame here, and then you've got this here, which is like a secondary kind of frame, which I assume goes on there like that, and that goes in there. That looks epic. The actual foraging area it has so many small components in it. It's really, really well made, really well cut as well. Epic. Really like that. Well done, guys. I'm quite impressed. The only thing I'd kind of say with this foraging area is it's just a little bit wobbly on this frame here. But honestly, it is so well cut, and it just looks so smart, so clean. I really, really like it. So yeah, thank you for sending that. In addition to the nest. Right, now we're going to move on to the main event. The main thing we're kind of here for is the nest. Wow. So here we have the nest. Wow. That is so cool. There is the nest there. It is pretty damn cool. Pretty nice, actually. It is really, really well cut. So basically this nest is AntKit's AirDen Pro size 2 nest, which is really cool. Just generally looking at it, the acrylic's well cut, the brick is really nicely cut. There's a few kind of chips like here and there, like big bubbles in the brick. But the thing is, with aerated brick, you can't really judge AntKit on the brick, because obviously the air bubbles are inconsistent. They're all different sizes really sometimes. So just to kind of break this nest down a little bit for you guys. So this is the main nest part here that we can see. The ants come in and out through the bottom portals here and here. And they get into the main nest through the side entrance holes, which are on the either side here. You can see one of them that's been installed there. This other one hasn't got one yet. So, and similar to the foraging area, you can lock off the entry holes by pulling this little slab here, and that basically just either opens it up or closes it. And then if we look to the bottom of the nest, this is the watering chamber, so the hydration chamber. So this is basically where you would drop the pipette or the water into this hole here, fill up the chamber. The water will basically hit the aerated brick just on the top of the hydration chamber there, and it will gradually soak up and would hydrate the nest. These look really cool, these bits here. That are just kind of for aesthetic purposes, but I really like that. So I think I've kind of broken down the nest there, so you can kind of view it from both sides, which is really cool. And I think the ant keeping market is kind of crying out for more vertical nests, and this is a cool little example of a YTONG vertical nest, and I really, really like it. So we are going to move on to the review part of this unboxing and review. So this nest will firstly be rated out of 10 for its design. So this is excluding the foraging area, and that means just me having a thorough look at the nest, which I kind of already have done. I think it's kind of a no-brainer really. The design of this nest and just the general aesthetic appeal of it. It looks very cleanly cut, very nice. It's quite a unique type of nest, which I've kind of never really seen before, and it's epic. I really do like it. So it's going to get a 10 out of 10 for its design. So now we're going to move on to a more in-depth section of the review, which is customization. So this kind of depends on how customizable this nest actually is, whether that means painting it yourself, or perhaps contacting AntKit and having kind of different coloured pieces of acrylic on there, different coloured bricks, anything really you can think of that you would want to kind of change yourself, and just basically the customization options on these nests. So right now, to break this down, right now they only have this nest in white, and the only kind of other customization options you can get are the connector sizes, the tubing connector sizes. You can get them in medium and large. I have a medium size connector here. I just think it's a shame you can't customize width of the tunnels. As you can see, there is a default tunnel width, which obviously some ants which are really chunky may struggle to get in and out of those tunnels. So there are a few good and a few bad things about the customization with this nest, but that isn't a massive downset because they only just released this nest. So I don't assume that they're going to bring out 100 different types of customization options straight away. So when coming down to the review rating, I think I'm going to give this nest an 8 out of 10. To justify this rating, so it is customizable for the ant keeper. You can paint the nest yourself and you can change the tubing connector size, which is really handy. The only thing I personally like to do is to pick the actual tunnel width of the nest. So as you can see, it's kind of like a default at the moment, and you're probably thinking, well, there's not much you can customize on that nest, so why wouldn't it get a lower score? Well, it's because the nest has only just come out and ANKIT haven't got loads of different customization options, so for that reason basically. So it's hard to kind of judge something that's just kind of hit the shelves. So for now, it's going to be an 8 out of 10 rating for customization, but that rating perhaps will change in the future. I guess we'll see. So next we're going to move on to accessibility. So this is whether we can get in and out of the nest. Accessibility is a massive thing for an ant keeper because you want to be able to get into it and clean it essentially. So ANKIT have kindly provided an Allen key. We are going to use this to open up the main part of the nest and just see where we can get to really. So if I just start by, so they provided an Allen key, but this is the wrong size. This size Allen key is obviously for locking the foraging area. Well, I'm going to go and grab a smaller Allen key and just see if I can get into this nest at all. Okay, I've found an Allen key. That is the right size. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the nest itself. So that's this part here. And we're just going to see how well we can kind of get in there and see how easy it is to get these screws off. I'm going to just start by unscrewing this first one here. Right, it's coming out relatively easily. Unscrew this one over here. 3, 4. And there we go. Pop straight out. So just say for instance, we wanted to clean the nest of some debris. I've got a pair of small tweezers. We can easily get into that nest and clean it. You could possibly get one of these kind of like test tube cleaners inside there to give it a good clean if you really needed to as well. And you can obviously take the other side off if you needed to get around the back as well. So it's accessible from both sides, which is really, really cool. Perhaps you might want to access the other parts where the ants come in. which is the part which goes from the entry tubing all the way up to the nest. So this part here is quite disclosed, it's quite hidden away. I'm just going to see if we can get to this part of the nest, because obviously the ants might deposit a lot of rubbish in there. So we're going to unscrew all of this now. Okay, here we go. Well, that's the underside of the nest, which is pretty epic. Pretty cool in there. Right, so accessibility, 10 out of 10 for this AntKit nest. So I am going to put this back together now, because the next section and the final section is probably the most important part of an ant nest, and that is habitation. So that is whether ants will actually move into this nest and whether it's capable of habitating them. Okay guys, so we've got the nest all set up for the final part of the review, the habitation. We've got the nest, so now we need the colony. So luckily we had a colony which was sent to us by the ant lady. Now she kindly supplied a colony of yellow crazy ants. Now this colony is a 4-queen colony and it has around about 30 workers, so it should fit in quite nicely into this nest here. So what we need to do now is we need to prepare the nest itself for the colony to make it seem a bit more attractive. Firstly, by hydrating it. Okay, let's give this a go. So I'll assume it just pops into here. So ANKIT did provide red covers. So what I'm going to do is I am going to peel off the protective covering. So we're going to peel this off. There we go. Just pop it on the front there. What we're going to do now is we're going to introduce our ants to this epic AntKit nest. Alright, here we go. I can just see that they're eagerly wanting to get out. See if I lean it. Right, there we go. Now that the ants are introduced to the setup, we are going to leave them to hopefully move into this new nest. And I guess I'll be seeing you guys in 2 weeks' time when they have hopefully moved in. So guys, it only took 1 day. Well, basically it happened overnight. These ants have all moved into this nest. For those of you who were watching on my Instagram, I was frequently filming the colony, and it was epic to see all the queens one by one heading into the nest. So I mentioned that I was going to wait 2 weeks. Now that's kind of like a maximum amount of time that I'm willing to wait for the ants, for them to move into the nest. But obviously I didn't need to wait that long for this setup. The ants pretty much moved in within a couple of hours, so it's done really well in terms of habitation. And because the ants have moved into the nest, no problem whatsoever, it's going to get a 10 out of 10 for habitation. So we have fully looked at this nest and we have given it an individual score for the 4 sections. So for design, it got a 10 out of 10. For customization, it got an 8 out of 10. For accessibility, it got a 10 out of 10. And finally, for Habitation, it's got a 10 out of 10. So that on average gives it an overall review rating of 9.5 out of 10, which to say the least is a great review rating. And this is a great Nest. If you guys fancied picking up anything from the ANKIT store, they've kindly provided me with a discount code, which is simply AntBritannia, which will give you 5% off anything in their store. As well as AntKit, be sure to check out the Ant Lady as well. She frequently has some really epic ants on her website, so yeah, be sure to check her out as well. Now, as mentioned in my previous video, I don't like to talk about the price that much because prices tend to change over time, whether they go up and down or whatever. So if you wanted to purchase this Nest, it currently stands at £54.99, and that's excluding shipping. So I mean, I'll let you guys judge whether that price is good for you. So you can watch this review and you can assess the price and you can see whether it's worth the money. If you wish to see more of these detailed unboxing and review videos, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I will see you in the next one.